Anyway, let's go to the mine. Finally. The mines are starkly cold compared to the warmth of the sunny day outside. It is quiet. Victoria is taking great care to keep you out of sight of any stray workers.
Something tells me we are not supposed to be here.
Be quiet, would you? You would think someone like you would see the value in keeping a low profile. Must be my handsome charm keeping me alive? Ah! A sudden scream rings out of the quiet mine, echoing eerily across the wall. Victoria shoots forward before anyone else had time to react. Michael lets out an exasperated sigh. Look at her go! Not even a hint of trying to stay quiet. You would think someone like her would see the value in keeping a low profile. Wait, Victoria! We shouldn't get separated down here! And she's gone. What should we do, Morgan? It sounds like someone's in trouble. We should help. Wait, Morgan! How did I end up with two people with a hero complex? The stone beneath your feet are brittle and unsteady, and you almost fall skidding around a sharp turn. The passage has opened up into a large cave. In the middle of stands a woman, her hands outstretched and glowing with a bright golden light.
Get out of my way, demon! You're ruining my experiment!
A demon stands tall, towering over the woman. You are making a grave mistake! Think of how powerful we could be, two beings of magic working together. You could have everything you've ever dreamed of, even...
Not interested.
Victoria, please help her! Victoria, we have to...
Got it.
Way ahead of you! Victoria rushes forward, sword drawn, and the stranger jumps back in surprise when the hunter cuts in. Ooh. Victoria cuts the demon down and it lets out an angry shriek. The locket around your neck starts glowing. Morgan, I think it might be time. Let's seal the spirit away before it escapes. Alright, you know the drill. Alright, so that is going to be a little bit more complicated, but no worries. Switch that one, then switch that one, and we need to spin this, put together. No. Put there. Actually, let's wait. That's not quite right. Yeah, actually, take that one. Okay, that's already correct. And boom. Ah! The demon roars as it dissolves and is sucked into the glowing locket. The mines fall silent again.
So...
Are you all okay? No one got hurt, right? We're fine, Morgan. Can't say I'll ever get used to that weird magic, though. How did you do that? You all jump as a stranger is suddenly in your face. Her gloved hand grabs yours without any consideration to personal space. You get a closer look at the locket that's still glowing faintly.
Is this some kind of portable alchemy table? It was alchemy you were using, right? What kind of magic was used to forge this? It cannot be powered by a crystal. The mass of the device would not be able to hold such power. But then, what?
Okay, again, we're going to hit her. Shouldn't we wait? You know, usually to get this close to me, you'd have to invite me out for a date or something. The woman blinks and looks up at you the first time since her rant began. Then she flushes red with embarrassment, looking like she just realized you were there. Sorry. Sometimes I get a bit carried away. She releases you and takes a step back. My apologies, I haven't even introduced myself.
My name is Anne Sophia Bernadette Hoffland, a scholar under the Seven Winds Academy.
She must be the mage Quinn was telling us about.
A student from the Mage Academy, huh? Quite rare to see one of those outside the little fortress in the woods.
and seems to completely ignore the comments. Her attention solely focused on you. Or at least, the locket.
I am writing my thesis on alternative power sources for magic-infused artifacts, and you simply must let me take a look at this device. I have never seen anything like it. If I could uncover the mysteries behind it, I'd be the envy of the entire academy.
Yeah, what are you doing here first?
about that.
Yeah, why did you come down here?
Did you know?
The crystal mine in this area are one of the most common resources for powering magical artifacts. I felt it was only right to start my research looking into the current practices, but I did not expect to find such an interesting research subject wandering around down here. It must have been the blessing of Isaac that made you show up when you did. Never heard that compliment. Wow, I've never been referred to as a research subject before. I was actually referring to your locket. Oh wait, joking again? Of course. You seem to be quite fond of those. Who are you again?
Hello.
Hello, I'm Morgan. Nice to meet you, Anne. The pleasure is all mine. A thesis.
Huh?
You're writing a what now? I thought mages work in shops and such.
About that.
Most do, but there are a few who choose to pursue a career at the academy itself as researchers. In order to gain such a position, however, you need to write a thesis, an extensive research report with knowledge you have gained while traveling. Well, and I know how to make thesis. My god! So, for those of you who are making thesis as the requirement for your graduation in postgraduate or undergraduate positions, thesis itself is not really that hard. It's just obnoxious, I would say. I done my thesis in a speedrun mode for about like a month, and well, I guess my lecturer is a little bit surprised by that speed actually. It's not normal, but it's not really that hard. Well, but then again, I'm computer science. Yeah, compared to the STEM field, which is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, my thesis might look like a child's play, honestly. But I digress. Most candidates fail. Fail? Either they fail to find new knowledge, or they die trying. Okay! Not cool.
Actually...
You're not wrong. But I will be successful. Don't doubt that. Academy?
Really?
You're from the Mage Academy? Yes, graduate just last month, but I already missed it. Oh, I will graduate next month, so I feel kindred spirit right here. No need to worry though. If everything goes to plan, I will have my thesis done and ready for publication within this season, and I'll be back before the summer ends. Yeah.
Listen, Quinn was the one who sent us here. They told us you might be able to help us learn more about this locket. You see, the power source is... well...
That would be me.
There is a pregnant pause while Anne blinks at Mime. For the first time, noticing the short-spirit girl standing partially hidden behind you. And then all color appears to leave her face.
A spirit? But that's... taboo. Against the teachings of the Holy Seven. How did you even... Oh, wait! I get it! This must be some kind of government-licensed project, right? That's why you have a demon hunter with you.
Sort of, but I'll spare you the details, and basically it's just me getting stabbed by an angry spirit, and then this little adorable kid over here just revives me back to life. And now I'm tied to her. Does that make sense?
Government licensed. Sure. Let's call it that.
No, I am not getting tangled up in something like this. Do you know what happens to mages who get involved with sketchy things like this?
Maybe we can make a deal?
I know it's not ideal, and I understand why you would be suspicious. But maybe we could make it worth your while? We're both searching for something, and our goals appear to be the same. So what if we make a deal?
A deal, you say? I'm not going to lie. I'm curious about that locket of yours. It's certainly a lot more interesting than what I've found down here so far. Leaving town in search of a new mine would also put me way behind schedule. I really don't have time for this.
For what it's worth, we are currently working on the orders of the Knight Commander of Eridus. The nature of our mission, however, demands a level of discretion.
By discretion, you mean they approve as long as you don't fail? But I suppose being chosen by the Knight Commander herself does give you some credibility. If I help you with this demon problem of yours, you promise that you will help me with my research? I will need to study that locket of yours thoroughly.
Reality or promise? What do you mean? People's lives are at stake. I need her to realize her personal goals have to come second. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Here's the thing though. Altruism is not a natural trait for humans. Yeah, we can make this work in a way that is beneficial for both of us.
If you help us, I promise I'll do anything I can to help with your thesis.
Anything?
First, you sell your soul to a spirit. Now a mad scientist. Nice.
Very well, alchemist. I'll bite. You have my expertise, and in return, we'll see what I come up with. I'm sure my grand experiment will be absolutely ingenious.
That sounds fun. This is going to be fun, right?
And dangerous. Alright, so where can we talk with you, ma'am? Oh, she is at the flower shop. Okay, let's talk to her.
Welcome back.
Hello, Quinn. It's been a while.
How lovely.
Anne, how lovely to see you. I was wondering if you'll end up burying yourself down in the mines for your entire stay. That was the plan, but as luck would have it, I found something much more interesting to write than magic crystals. How do you two know each other again? Anne and I both graduate from the Magic Academy. Not the same class, but you know, it's a small place. Only you would find a massive castle small. But I agree, you never like to be cooped up indoors for too long. Unlike you, who are happy to be in a box as long as you get to bring a book. If the box is comfy, then sure. Quinn laughs and shakes her head. So, what brings you all back to my shop? You can't possibly have time just to make social calls? Yeah, what do you know about the spirit lockets? I'll do my very best. For a price, of course. That was all for now.
I'll be...
Take care. Oh, and Anne,
Yes?
do drop by from time to time while you're here, won't you? I miss our game nights.
Oh.
Okay. I'll see if I can find some time.
Perfect. I'll see you around.
I get a sense that these two might have some chemistry. Oh, so now she's in the market. Oh, okay, let's talk to her again, because she is now at the market. Anne? The town square is busy and buzzing with people, eager to share stories and gossip with one another. However, one lone figure stands out, staying off to the side and staring at the crowd with apprehension. Observing the human species. Planning out some new experiments, are you? Oh, I'm wounded. I thought I was your favorite guinea pig. Don't be ridiculous. I wouldn't learn anything interesting from studying the people here. You remain as my only test subject. Quinn just insisted that I take a walk and get to know the town. I honestly don't see the point, as I will be leaving this place soon. But here I am anyway. Quinn is right. Anemone Valley is a really nice place once you get to know it a bit better. Right. I'll need some more concrete evidence than to be convinced. Was there something you wanted, by the way? I might as well keep you here while I pretend to be sightseeing. That way, if we get chased down by an angry mob, there will be at least two of us running. Yeah, why am I an interesting test subject? So, I'm curious. What exactly is it you think you'll discover from researching Mime and me? Well, if things turn out right, then these experiments might yield a solution for the Empire's storage of magic energy. There is a shortage of magic?
Really?
I thought the general gospel of the Empire is that there is too much magic in the world.
So,
That would be the public opinion, yes. Privately, most people in the big cities and capitals enjoy the commodities that magic provides them with. From their mage light lamps, self-driving horse carriage, orbs of communication, you name it. Their complacent lifestyle is dependent on all these magical items, and every single one of them is powered by a magic crystal. Now, crystals are great for this purpose, but there is so many to go around. Which means the cost of those crystals steadily continues to rise, which in turn gives a disproportionately amount of power to those who owns the crystal mines, since there is no alternative. But you don't need a crystal. You are a completely normal, no magic human using an alchemy table without any clear power source. I can figure out how you do it. Well, it might very well change the world as we know it. It's an admirable goal, wanting to help the world like that. Oh, you misunderstand. I don't give a damn about those people. Their petty problems mean nothing to me. But with a discovery like that, I'm absolutely certain to be granted a professor title. Then, I can go back to doing whatever research I want, and the world can continue to slowly destroy itself for some other dumb reason. Yeah, you and Quinn.
I wonder.
You and Quinn seems to be close. Quinn is one of those people who grows on you over time, and once ensnared, they'll not stop shoving all their friendship and love on you.
they are my best friend, honestly.
We were both rather, quirky compared to some of other kids growing up at the academy. Despite Quinn being a year ahead of me, we just click and have remained strong friends since. Why do you want to become professor so badly? Yeah, because here's the thing though, being a professor in a university, well, at least today, doesn't just mean that you get to teach and grade your students. You also need to publish a paper, some kind of like thesis every single year, and I don't know, I just hate paperwork, alright? I like to create things, not to write things. So, yes, why do you want to become professor so badly, Anne?
Tell me about...
You keep returning to this professor thing. Why do you want to become one so badly?
That makes sense.
I guess it wouldn't make much sense for someone who isn't a mage, but I'll try to explain. Once a mage has graduated from the academy, we're thrown out. Some would call it being reassigned to professional positions, but that just means we get thrown out into a job we didn't choose in a random city we don't know. Then we have to work the rest of our lives, praying that we don't make a mistake that land us in a prison, or worse. The Mage Academy is the only place where mages can be free to practice our craft without having the fear that a single mistake or misunderstanding could be the end of us. But the only people who get to stay at the academy after graduation are the professors. Those few experts who are allowed to study their craft to the benefit of all, the ones tasked with teaching the next generation, that's what I want for myself, hence my current trial. I see. Basically, she just wants to teach in one hand, and in the other hand, she just doesn't want to just like go to unknown locations, because that's going to be boring for her. Alright then, I should get back to
I'll
work.
be off then.
We should probably get back to the mission at hand.
Bye then.
You're right. The sooner we can get this demon nonsense out of the way, the sooner can I begin running some tests on you and Mime. I kinda dreaded that. Okay, so I don't think we have any other interactions. Maybe we can talk to Mime about her. Okay, what happened in the forest? That's a good question. You were acting pretty weird when we went out of the forest. What was all that about? Me? Weird? No, no way. So you noticed, huh? I'm sorry I was acting weird. The forest is a special place for me. It was where Victoria found me, and I just... there's a lot of things I'd like answer to, but it's not really all that important. I'll stay on track from now on, don't you worry. What do you think about this Michael fella? He's great to be found around. He's always smiling and positive and doesn't seem to mind my spirit at all. I feel like he's hiding something though. Like, I notice him sometimes staring off into space and he just looks so sad. I hope we can become friends so we can help him whatever he's struggling with. Hopefully, before Victoria murders him. I say that Victoria and Michael is going to be a character foil to each other. One is so serious and one is so whimsical. One is so righteous about the moral high grounds and the other is so like laid back and relaxed. I kinda like their interactions. What is your thoughts about Anne? Well, she seems sweet, but also really quiet. She's very focused on her research and she only ever talks to me to ask questions about the spirit locket. It would be nice to get to know her a little bit better, but honestly, she doesn't seem interested in making friends. The sun is setting over the town of Anemone Valley, and you and your stranger group or companion have returned to the alchemy shop. As everyone gets settled, you and Elizabeth stand together, serving this strange group.
Well, child, when I originally sent you out to bring back ingredients, this is not what I had in mind.
Mage, you keep your hands to yourself. I won't have you cooking up some vile magic using the remains of this shop.
I was simply trying to be a helpful guest, picking up some of the debris. But if you don't trust my abilities, perhaps Anne would be so kind as to use some of her tinker magic to fix this.
I specialize in magic-infused items, Michael. I can't just repair any chair or table I come across.
So you have specialized mages for fixing a table?
Well, of course not. The mages specializing in furniture do both chairs and tables. Don't be absurd.
And you wonder why I don't get magic from the Mage Academy.
Because it's boring! Elizabeth sigh.
It seems every time I send you outside on an errand, you return with more and more eccentric characters. I fear I should put you on house arrest.
No! I always like pets.
I did used to pick up strays when I was a kid. Remember?
I'd say this is a bit more serious than a stray kitten. I understand why you brought these people here, and I respect Victoria's judgment. I just worry all of this activity will draw unwanted attention to us.
There is a sudden knock on the door, and the conversation dies.
This is strange. Who could that be at this hour?
Elizabeth walks over to answer the door that she has barely turned the handle when it bursts open. The imposing figure of Goldner forces his way in, sneering at the groups that awaits him inside.
Good evening, Madam Alchemist. I hope you don't mind a bit of a surprise visit.
Two more men step into the shop, their figure imposing as they push past the mine owner and into the shop. Elizabeth keeps her cool, but you notice her knuckles turning white as she clutches her cane.
Messer Goldner, what an unexpected surprise. What brings you here at this late hour?
There is a crash as one of the men roughly pushes the remains of a bookshelf aside in order to make his way out to the kitchen. Goldner grins smugly.
Merely the concerns of a good neighbor. You see, the lads and I have been quite distraught about these strange occurrences. First the forest, and then this strange fire. And now it has come to our attention that an outlander is sneaking around somewhere in town. We were merely concerned and wanted to check in on you, to make sure he hasn't been hiding out somewhere in the remains of your shop.
There's a crash out in the back, the sound of something shattering.
I think it's time for you and your friends to leave.
Again. There is an uncomfortable silence as the man slowly turns to you. His eyes are cold with contempt.
I remember you. You were down at the flower shop as well. Magic filth plotting together, are you? No wonder we citizens have to take matters into our own hands.
Pot calling the kettle black.
Talk about pots and kettles. The mines have made you rich by providing resources to magic scum like me. So what exactly does that make you?
You filthy little.
You know as soon as the words leave your mouth that you've struck a nerve. Goldner's face contorts into something ugly and he raises his hand. Smack!
That is quite enough.
Elizabeth moves way too quickly for such an old lady, her cane smacking the hand's hand roughly away before he can hit you.
I have tolerated your abhorrent behavior for the sake of keeping things civil, but I will not tolerate you laying even a finger on my apprentice.
Thanks, Mom. You have never heard this tone in Elizabeth's voice, ever. Sure, you have seen her mad, but this is something entirely different. A level of absolute raw fury that makes even the man before her shrink back under her assault.
This is... Don't you dare speak like this to me. Do you even understand what you're doing?
Oh, I understand perfectly. Now, be so kind as to get lost.
The man looks furious, eyes flickering between you and your teacher. You stand beside Elizabeth, giving her your full support. You heard the lady.
Time for you to leave, Miss Eyre.
The guys from the back return and take in the scene. Looking a bit unsettled by the angry alchemist, they immediately join Goldner on either side, standing tall and intimidating. Goldner smirks smugly.
You really have some nerve talking to me like that. Be grateful we have other matters to attend to tonight. But this is not the end of this.
He leaves, his goons following right along behind him. There's a collective sigh of relief in the room when the door slams shut. Elizabeth lets out a low chuckle and slams against her cane, looking awfully pale. Are you okay?
Oh no.
Elizabeth, are you okay? Come here, let's sit down. Elizabeth chuckles as you carefully guide her over to a chair so she can sit down for a moment. No need to fret, child. I am fine. Just a bit more excitement than I'm used to, that's all. It is my own fault, though, for not wanting to admit sooner that this was the obvious outcome. That man has been on our case for years now, always looking for a chance to get in, wreak havoc on our hard-won peace. Just who were they looking for anyway? What did they mean by Outlander? They are a people of mountain dwellers living beyond the borders of the Alethian Empire. They are a reclusive society that rarely interacts with any of their neighboring states. The fact that one of them shows up here, this time, it's highly suspicious.
A stranger far away from home, caught in a local conflict due to their race. How very predictable.
The enemy of my enemy. Well, if they are able to send Goldner into frenzy like this, we've got to help them. If nothing else than just to stick it to that pompous bastard.
I don't like this.
What? You want to go outside? Don't you think it's best if we stay out of this? We've already in way too much trouble for my liking. Come now, Anne, my dear. Where is your hero spirit? Some poor fellow out there in the city being chased by an angry mob. Don't you want to lend a hand? Anne just glares at him dully, then sighs. I guess we could go take a look.
Okay.
I agree that catching this person first seems to be in our interests, but he could have gone anywhere in town by now. Outlanders are a magical being though, right? So, shouldn't a hunter like you be able to track him down? We should at least give it a try, right? He might have important information that could help us. I love to admit it, but I agree with you, Mime. We don't have a lot of time, but paragons help you if any of you try something funny.
Fun? In your presence? Perish the thought.
You head out into the streets and begin your search. Victoria takes the lead, hand firmly planted on the hilt of her sword, and eyes hard and focused. The streets are quiet at this late hour, and you notice nothing suspicious on your way to the market square. So, Victoria, you can sense magic as well? I guess that explains how you found me out in the forest back then.
Actually...
Hunters can sense magic. It is the sword they carry that guide them towards chaotic magic. They are holy weapons, forged by rituals following the teachings of Lunaritha, the paragon and founder of the Mage Academy. I guess I shouldn't be surprised you would know about these practices, Anne.
Hunters did save my life by bringing me to the academy, so I've made it a point to be well informed.
I see.
Save your life, huh? Also, Michael, would you stop that? I'm trying to concentrate. You turn to Michael, who is smirking innocently, a little purple flame dancing in his palm.
Sorry. I was just curious as to how effective the holy weapon of yours was.
Honestly, all I see is the piece of dragon bone strapped to the hilt of your sword. Dragon bones? It is quite rare material, but dragons have been gone for centuries after all. But it's quite popular in the use of weapon making, since it provides the wielder a bit of an edge, so to say, over magical opponents.
Don't be absurd. Dragons? Really? That sounds like a fairy tale. Victoria, don't you agree?
But Victoria doesn't answer, her head snapping to the side at the same time as Mime's ears perks up in attention. Guys? I'm sensing another sudden burst of spirit energy. In that instant, a familiar kid comes shooting around the corner, wide-eyed and out of breath.
Alchemist! I'm so glad I found... I was going to the alchemy shop, but... Ronan, my brother... I saw him.
Are you okay? Hey, are you okay? You aren't hurt or anything? Kim shakes his head, still wheezing, trying to get his breath under control.
Well?
My brother... He was with a group of people, and they were all dragging this tall guy with them. I followed them out of town. It looks like they went into the mines. That was dangerous. That was dangerous, following them like that. You shouldn't take such risk. What if they had spotted you? I guess you're right, but I didn't want to lose him again.
You're going after them now, aren't you? I want to come along as well.
Yeah, you've done enough.
Actually...
You've done enough, Kim. Please trust us that we can do our work now, too.
Fine. I'll leave it to you, but... Please take care, okay?
Alright. Kim leaves and you follow his direction to the mines. You arrive and head inside, the faint glow of the crystals the only thing lighting your way. Once you go in further, you notice someone standing guard. You're pretty sure you've seen him around town, buying flowers from Quinn's shop, but now his expression is empty, eyes unfocused, like he isn't entirely there. Yep, that one definitely influenced by a spirit. This is bad. If he sees us, then he'll alert whoever is in there. There's no obvious way to sneak up on him either. Don't you know some alchemy remedy that might help us out? Maybe something that will knock him out for a bit? That's not a bad idea. Though, you should probably be careful not to hurt him. You say that, but the witnesses are such a hassle. Alright, begin placing ingredients into the table. Okay, so now we finally use the alchemy to solve problems. Alright, maybe we should try to brew like the big one, right? We made the sleeping draught, but yeah, let's go back. Let's create like the very hard one. And eternal sleep. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, let's go back. Probably not the great way to do that. Eternal sleep is going to knock him out for like 3 days, so you craft a potion and take a moment to weigh the vial in your hand before you throw it into the cave. The glass shatters and a thin white mist spreads. The guard looks around startled, making a move to run, and then immediately slams forward, collapsing on the floor.
Well, isn't this neat?
That was effective. Alchemy can be kinda scary. He'll be fine.
Actually...
Don't worry, I made sure the potion only knocked him out.
Oh, really?
Fascinating. It makes me curious just what other stuff this harmless type of magic is capable of. Don't get any ideas. We should move while we still have the element of surprise. Always so cold. Very well, let's go. The passage ends in an open cave. Hiding behind a pile of big rocks, someone is standing in the center. A man is on his knees on the cold cave floor, and before them stands Ronan in his frightening demon form.
You have to excuse my lack of manners, but I am growing impatient. Me and my brethren here have been waiting quite a while for this moment, and your stubborn hero charade is honestly starting to piss me off. So I will ask you, for the last time, how do we break the seal?
The man on the ground is unlike anyone you have ever seen before. His skin is a colorless gray, hair white as snow, but along his exposed arm runs a glowing blue marking like crystal core. When he looks up to glare at the demon, his eyes are alight with the same gemstone glow.
You are fooling yourself if you think I'd ever bargain with a demon. Your end will come soon enough, and you will return to your prison once more.
Ronan lets out a low cackle.
And you believe that you will be the one to do that? The valiant hero, swooping in to save the day? How well is that working out for you?
My failure is my shame to bear. I cannot change that, but I refuse to add any more regrets to my name. I will tell you nothing.
Ronan chuckles, and with a wave of his hand, a demon appears at his side, tall and lanky, with soulless eyes, staring down at the Outlander almost hungrily.
Well, then it's good that there are other ways for me to gain your cooperation.
The Outlander looks mildly queasy, but hides it well behind a sneer.
So you intend to have this one possess me? You don't have the courage to do so yourself?
I usually prefer to be more hands-on. However, this body I'm inhabiting still has its uses, so I can't give it up quite yet. Do not fear, though. My brother here is quite capable of the task.
The demon moves in, and the Outlander tries to shift away, but there is nowhere to go. You observe the cave carefully, feeling a spark of nerve settled in your stomach. So this was what you agreed to, back when you made the deal with Alethea. These demons are not kidding around. You know from first-hand experience that something has to be done. Okay, your answer will impact the story going forward. Confidence. I am ready for this. I accept the fate I have chosen and I will emerge victorious. Or doubts. I am afraid I have taken on too much, but I will push through my fears to do what is right. Let's go with confidence. You step into the room boldly.
Enough of this, Ronan. This ends here. I won't allow you to hurt any more people.
Ronan's red eyes turn to you and his head tilts curiously to the side with a wicked grin.
Well, if it isn't the little alchemist. I could have sworn I'd left you dead in a ditch not too long ago. How interesting. Well, that gives me a welcome opportunity to thank you. If it hadn't been for your timely arrival back in that alley, I would never have succeeded in possessing this foolish human properly. But, alas, you are not useful to me now. So it's time for you to die. For real this time.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I agree. After all, it would be a hassle if my guinea pig was to die before I even got to start my research.
You and Mime do what you have to do. We'll make sure you're not interrupted.
Let's do this!
Alright. Okay, no time limit as well. This is going to be easy. Okay, so just this. Nice. This is it. It seems I've underestimated you, alchemist. Trust me when I say that will not happen again. The man disappears into the shadows. You turn to the stranger on the ground, who watches you curiously. Are you alright? You rush over to the man on the ground and begin the work of untying his bindings. Are you okay? He didn't hurt you, did he? You ask, concerned, and freeze when he looks up at you. Those glowing eyes piercing right through your skull. I am fine, thank you. Your help is most appreciated. Sure. Well, I couldn't just let him go and ruin that handsome face of yours. You grin as you help untie his hands. The stranger blinks, and you swear for a moment the color of his eyes turns a warmer hue as he chuckles awkwardly. Thank you, I guess. He looks past you to where the others are standing, and he bows his head deeply.
I am most grateful to all of you. That was quite a dangerous situation I found myself in.
Yeah, you really got yourself in a fine mess right there. Just who are you? And why did you end up captured by such fine people?
My name is Caden. And as for how I came to be here, I was trying to help stop these demons leaking out of their prison. However, my efforts seem to have done nothing more than make the situation worse.
So that's how it is.
So, you have something to do with the demons escaping into town. Victoria Hans is already reaching towards his sword, and Michael tuts.
How about we let the man talk before you draw that thing?
Yeah.
That's new.
You said you were trying to stop the demons from escaping some prison. Does that mean the spirits were locked away somewhere nearby? That is correct. The underground cavern hosts one of the few known demon prisons within the borders of the Alethian Empire. The underground crystal ore seems to have been used to form a protective seal, not unlike how the goddess of mercy won the final battle of the dragons, casting a spell. Yeah, anyone else getting this?
Huh?
Right, so am I the only one here who has no idea what he's talking about? You look around the room to see a varied expression of confusion.
I don't understand.
You don't know? How is that possible? Maybe the Dax use other terms. These are all the legends of the old religion. I'm afraid, my tall friend, that you will have to fill us in, as these stories are not commonly told among people in this land anymore.
How curious.
Well, that's puzzling.
I suppose I can give it a try, though I am no bard.
A great many centuries ago, before there were humans or outlanders, the elder ones who inhabit the continent were at war with the ancient dragons. The war ended when one of the 7 gods, the goddess of mercy, has a spell that sealed away the spirits of the dragons for good. The world was finally at peace, and she and her brethren disappeared. This legend inspired many powerful mages in centuries to come. They strive to create similar spells to get rid of the unfavorable spirits, and these ancient spells relied on the crystals that occur naturally beneath this continent to fuel their seal. My people hold records over many such spirit prisons spread out across the continent, one of which resides under this valley. When we became aware that humans were now mining this resource, we suspected that might have been unfavorable consequences. It weakened the seal. Exactly.
Actually,
I came here to mend the damage that had been done.
Though, looking back now, I probably should have gone about this differently. I had brought with me an artifact for the task, and was in the midst of performing the ritual to mend the rift, when one of the miners interrupted me. I'm actually not too sure what happened after. The ritual failed, and I woke up in that man, Goldner's estate.
Understandable, because if you do close the mines and disallow any further mining of that crystals, then that's going to put him out of business and going to rid all his wealth away. So yeah.
I learned that he was the one in charge of the mining activity, and tried to explain the situation to him. However, he proved to be quite difficult.
That sounds about right.
Good old Goldner. Always being an ass, even when the safety of the world is at stake.
That blasted idiot refused to listen to reason. Kept me locked up for days. And when I finally made a lucky escape, he and his goons chased me all across town. And I lost them. But then ran straight into those demon-possessed humans and, well, you know the rest.
Looks like you've had a real stellar introduction to the outside world.
How shocking.
This is all so much new information, my head's spinning. Dragon spirits? The mines? What are we going to do about all this?
Well, we have to, yeah, Goldner must pay. Nah, he's not going to pay. We have to save the seal.
We have to do something about this seal. Making sure no more demons escape should be our first priority.
Do you think we should ask Alithia for help? I mean, I know you're an awesome knight, Victoria, but would it make more sense to have, I don't know, more people here?
I am afraid it's not that simple. While I do think Caden's story is worth looking into, the people in charge of the Knights aren't easily going to dispatch people and possibly cause panic. Not when the only witness is a foreigner.
Well, what do you know, Victoria? I didn't think I'd see the day a knight would admit the system was corrupt. Honesty suits you.
Oh, get lost, Michael. I never said the Empire was perfect, but unlike you, I prefer to make positive changes while keeping order, instead of simply burning the whole thing down.
You say that as if the world weren't already on fire.
Is no one going to address the fact that all of this is based on, what? A legend? Dragons and spells of some forgotten goddess? None of this is based on factual information.
The records kept by my people are not lacking. If you want proof, then I am sure we can cross-reference it with any of this town's records.
That's going to be difficult.
I don't follow.
Back before our dear Academy mage was born, the Empire decided keeping records was too troublesome. It's much easier to appear competent after all, when all proof of your past mistakes disappears. So all such documents were destroyed. Whatever records they might have had in this town, they are gone. Together with the people who wrote them.
So the people would willingly destroy their own history? That's madness.
Welcome to human society.
I understand your concern, Anne, and I agree. However, his story does seem to match up with what we've seen so far, and right now, he's the only lead we've got. So let's hear him out for now, okay?
Suit yourself, I guess.
With Anne appeased for the moment, Victoria turns to the Outlander, question in her eyes.
You mentioned some kind of spell that could stop this?
I brought an artifact with me that has the power needed to mend tears in seals like these. If I'd succeeded in stabilizing it, then things could have gone back to the way they were. As long as no one went and broke it again.
Did you say powerful artifact?
And please calm yourself. You'll scare the man.
The artifact is one of my people's most valuable treasures. However...
Well, what are you waiting for? Hand it over so I can take a look.
Goldner took it, didn't he?
He did. I have no idea where he might have taken it.
Great. Now what?
If it's already stolen, then it's okay if we steal it again.
I mean, if the artifact is already stolen, then it's hardly a crime if we go and steal it back, right?
You know, we can't just waltz into the man's home and steal something. As a noble, no doubt he has all sorts of security to protect himself.
Are we going to do a heist?
You're right. We should just kill this Goldner guy and stop the mining. That would be the easy solution.
How in the world is that a better solution?
No one will have to die if we work smart. And trust me, you wouldn't survive the aftermath of such a scandal.
Spoil sport.
We'll find a way to get the artifact back from Goldner, but we're going in with a proper plan. There's still much about this whole situation that's too unclear.
Well, if information is what we're after... Caden, you've got to go through as much of this ritual as you can with me. I also need some detailed descriptions of this artifact we're looking for.
Okay, I'll go. There's no need to pull on me like that.
Guess we're going back to the shop? I wonder what Elizabeth is going to say to all of this.
One more stranger. She is used to it by now.
With the way things have been going lately, I'd say she's grown used to these sort of things happening.
Would someone ever really get used to this? Such a strange group and such a strange quest. I wonder what will become of us all.
You leave the mines and return to the shop for the night. There you go. Alright. So yeah, that is Arcadia Fallen. I really like this game. I really like it so much. My god. I love the characters, I love the interactions within them. This is basically like a typical D&D groups, right? And I do love some D&D storytellings here and there. I know I said it a lot, but I might really want to make a series out of this game. Seriously. Because this game is just so good. And it doesn't require me to run like a very expensive PC to do. So yeah, I love this game so much. I love this game so much. And if you also do like this game, then there is a link in the Steam description down below, which will take you to the Steam page where you can wishlist it and get it once it's out. I certainly will wishlist it and get it once it's out. And also, if you like this video, then don't forget to leave a like. And if you want to see more of great indie games like this every single day of the week, then don't forget to subscribe. And with that, I think I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.